Hi, my name is Del Reed, and I am a Billsaholic.
Hi, Del.
Hi, Del.
Touchdown! 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 Bills make me wanna. The Bills make me wanna. The Bills make me wanna.
This is a Kmart production, brought to you by Dudzik Chiropractic and MJB Electric.
Listeners' discretion is advised. Sawbills Podcast.
Welcome to Zob Bills Podcast. If this is your first time, we discuss the Bills games while we review two different Buffalo pizzas. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the big show.
All right, welcome back to Zob Bills Podcast. Your host, Kyle, surrounded by 7 beautiful men. Episode 24, welcome back. Sean, what are you giggling about?
No, I just finally someone said we were beautiful men. I love it. It's fantastic.
Inside and out.
Wonderful.
Sometimes it's good to hear, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so special show tonight. We got an in-house special guest. As you heard from the intro, Mr. Del Reed. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Me.
Fresh off the Super Bowl appearance you made, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of stories coming up. We can't wait to hear.
All right, settle down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As Corey'd say, lay in the plane. Jesus. Okay, before we go around the table on who's here tonight, in new news, Zob Bills is the #1 podcast in Tonawanda, New York, that reviews 2 pizzas before talking about the Bills games.
Yes,
so
baby.
Spotify
We made
and
it.
Apple, yes.
We
#1
have made it
podcast.
#1. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. And then in second news, you guys all right? Okay. New sponsor, MJB Electric. Mike over there and Mike here. Hook that up, Mike. You want to talk about that at all real quick? Or
No, he's just a local electrician, primarily in residential, and he does great work. He's very, very particular, so he's one that you want wiring your house so it doesn't burn down.
I did try to sleuth him a little bit on the Facebook, and I came across his page, and he had a picture of a fuse panel. Oh, it's like artwork in there. Mm-hmm. Real beautiful.
That's what he does.
Yeah. So how drunk did you get him to convince him to give us money?
well, I'll put it this way. When I followed up with him, I started with, now that you're sober, and then I went on and he said, no, I'm in. Let's do it.
All right, there you go. Okay.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
All right, Dennis.
Hey,
You're me to my left like we're playing cards. You're getting dealt first.
that's right. How we doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great.
That's good. Me too. I got my wisdom teeth out, feeling better, eating steak and stuff. It's great. Life is great.
Yeah. How much wisdom did you lose?
Not enough. I'm still kind of wise, so that's all right. Maybe it'll wear off a little bit after a couple more weeks. But
What's new down in South Buffalo?
well, most of the snow is melted.
Yeah.
There's still piles here and there, of course, but most of it's melted. Everything else is good. It's going to be St. Patrick's Day pretty soon, so I hope everybody's ready. I mean, I know I am.
All right.
Got my 26 shirt for St. Patrick's Day, so it's good stuff.
I'm wearing mine. Yeah, I got mine on. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought a Bob Ross one also from 26 shirts today, and I was trying to go between that one or the Zob Bills, and had to go Zob Bills.
I got one. I got my mom. She's a big fan, and she wanted me to ask you if the Dude is coming back out ever.
We just released it. Like, it just
She
happened.
said she missed out on it, and she's like, if you talk to him, ask him. I'm like, all right, I'll ask.
There's some overstock on the website.
Okay, all right.
Tell
I'll
her
let
head
her-
over there. Maybe she can grab one.
Overstock,
Yeah. Like, limited availability.
limited availability. All right.
It's a lot of
I was in your store today. I saw it today.
Was that
Josh
you?
Allen, right?
The
Yeah.
the one customer that came in. Thank you.
Oh, wow. It worked out well.
Perfectly. Perfect.
Herb. Yep.
What's up?
Yep. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not going to suck up to Dell like this guy over here. But
I respect you
good.
both for different reasons.
I like T-shirts. What can I say?
So, Herb, what's new?
nothing.
Any volleyball news?
Yeah, we suck.
Well,
Yeah, it's been a rough semester.
We
Or
suck again.
Season, I guess. Session. Yeah.
yeah.
We'll get it together.
What's the problem?
We lost 2 of our best players.
To injury or free agency?
Salary cap.
They quit for a session. They said, fuck this.
We suck again.
Yeah, that's you, Herb.
Yeah.
That's you. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Brendan,
Hello.
how you doing?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. We had really good pizza tonight.
It was good.
Real good.
Surprisingly.
And folks, stepped it up for Dell. We brought in chicken wings for the guy.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
Much love. Thank you.
We definitely don't normally have that.
A first on the pod.
Hey, little shout out to Ken East.
Yeah.
Bulldogs with a huge sectional victory the other night.
Yeah, it was
6-1.
Yeah.
That was a good time down at the arena.
Yeah, Kyle and I partake of the high school hockey, and especially down at the arena. It was cool to see, cool on the Jumbotron. I was thinking...
I was almost on the Kiss Cam.
Yeah. Kyle and I were both on there a couple times, actually.
Together?
Right next to each other.
If my wife didn't go to another row, I could have gotten on the Kiss Cam. Good thing your wife left, Woody.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that could have been awkward.
I warned her.
Yeah, I had some lady in front of me, though, that was... What'd she say? She just turned 70. And she's like, oh, your wife's not coming back. If that Kiss Cam comes around, I'm available. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, one of the kids' grandmas, I think. One of the players' grandmas.
I won't mention the kid's name, but yeah, I know which, yeah.
Yeah, but that was a cool experience for those guys. They had to be, I mean, they had the replays going and everything. It was really cool to just see, like,
oh yeah,
you know, the overhead shots on the goalies and stuff, and how close some of these goals came to going in.
Yeah,
but 6-1 victory over West Seneca West. So
you know what's really cool about growing up in Western New York with professional sports teams is that most of the kids playing high school sports, the championships are held at the football stadium or the arena. I grew up in Section 2, which is out in Saratoga and Albany, and you can't play at Albany's got a beautiful facility. Union College has got one. They don't want it there. You can't play at the Times Union Arena where the River Rats play, so you got to play at like scrub arenas, and it's like, come on. That's the coolest thing about out here. You get to play at the big guys' places.
Yeah, when I was in high school, our team won sectionals for football, and we played at the Ralph.
Yeah,
for that sectional game.
Yeah.
So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, we didn't get any of that. I did play at the Carrier Dome though.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
I got thrown out of the Carrier Dome.
For what?
That's a different story. But.
For the second half of the episode or after dark?
Yeah, that's after dark.
Okay. All right. Without further ado, the man of the hour, Del Reed.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Yeah. Hi. I don't know if you're gonna go to me or go to Mike.
No, we're just gonna get a quick little intro from you, and then we'll go around, and then we'll get to you, and then all eyes are on you.
Sounds good. Yeah, thanks for having me on tonight. Excited to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
All right, bourbon, pizza, wings, and
this little thing called the Super Bowl.
No, forget that. Everybody, no. All right. So Del, Buffalo native.
Yeah, I grew up in Tonawanda, moved all the way to Kenmore.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's a north town drive, right?
Jeez. Wow.
Kenmore West graduate.
Oh.
My wife graduated from East. I actually went to East for 2 years, and I tell her that I'm the only one in the house with an informed opinion. Two schools.
Nice.
Yeah, but grew up in just north of the city in Kenmore, Tonawanda, and I'll probably die in that same space. I love Kenmore. It's super walkable.
Yep.
Yeah, I got nothing more to add there.
Okay.
It's great. I love it.
All right, Mike. Thank you for bringing Del tonight.
Well, he drove himself, but yeah.
We walked like 3 doors down
we
or
walked from
something.
my house. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's new with you, Mike?
I'm ready to get rolling with Del.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. Woody, how you been?
Doing well.
Been a couple episodes.
Yeah.
What's new and exciting? The Suns deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, they came off a thrilling victory
tell us about that.
Saturday. Yeah, so this is like the team they were playing was a Rochester team in Rowe County, and kind of the bullies of the division. Beat us bad this year and last year. It was just kind of like a go in there, see what happens. Played them close. It was 1-1 going into the third period. They kind of pulled away 4-1. We were getting ready to pack things up. Then we scored a goal. It was 4-2. Then we scored another one. It was 4-3. They got a late one on a breakaway with 3 minutes left to go up 5-3. At that point, we're like, all right, the boys fought hard. And then my son actually got the fourth goal with 40 seconds left, and then we potted one with 13 seconds left. Wow. And then the same kid that scored that goal scored 27 seconds into overtime. Wow. We won 6-5.
Nice.
Place went berserk. We went berserk.
Nice.
Yeah. Spent the whole rest of Saturday at the Deuce celebrating. Nice.
You didn't. I heard that the Bulldogs went over to GFY after their victory.
I bet, yeah.
All right, Sean, get up to the mic, you freaking Bruins fan.
I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. I am back and better than ever.
How's the head?
Head's perfect.
You still aren't native in other languages or
I really
accents
didn't
or
get any
anything?
sort of gain
Superpowers.
from the super concussion that I took off.
Yeah, well,
ladder.
Do it better next time.
I will not. I've been
Okay.
instructed never to go on a ladder again by multiple people, but
Yep.
I'm going to show it. I'm going to show the kids that, hey, if you fall, you get right back up. Dell, I fell off about a 15-foot roof peak. And,
On purpose?
No. It was one of those things where everything was good. And
There was a table down below. So
literally, I did the Griswold where the ladder just collapsed down. Except it kicked out. I fell straight down, landed on my feet, but then it propelled backwards and cracked the back of my head.
Holy
But
cow.
I wouldn't miss his podcasts for anything. Right?
he actually called in.
He did call in.
He did call in that night, but it was it's an experience. I'm back off the
IR?
IR.
Yeah, the PIP or
Right.
PUP.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the P's.
Since you like talking about it, do you want to fill us in on what's going on with the Bruins lately?
They're doing okay. They're number
Yeah?
one in the conference. As
Okay,
always.
that's enough.
Have they won 3 in a row?
They have not.
I was not made aware this was going to be part of the discussion.
All right, Sean, that's enough. I'm moving on.
Okay. All right. See ya. Okay. Fire away at Dell. Who's first? Oh, wait a minute.
Are we doing
Pizza.
that? We're doing pizza.
Sorry. Okay. Dennis.
So for me, I thought both pizzas were very good.
Yeah.
Are we going to say what pizzas we had?
You know what?
It's probably not a bad idea.
And
We're a little flustered with Del.
we're all starstruck. Pizzas tonight brought to us by Does a Chiropractic. Dr. Bob, thank you so much for the awesome partnership. We hope to continue that next season. That being said, we had John's Pizza, and is it just John's or is it John's Pizza and Wings or Subs?
And subs.
John's Pizza and Subs on Niagara Falls Boulevard in the corner of, is that Pryor? Braxmar. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then we had Macy's, which we've done before if you're a regular listener. We got the Cheektowaga location this time, and both locations, 20 wings, medium. Okay, Dennis.
The wings, first of all, the wings were very similar, I felt like. Macy's maybe a tad bit better, but I mean, they were almost identical. And so there wasn't too much there. The pizzas were both good. I like the John's a lot better. It's a little bit more tasty. So I know the sweet sauce is a big thing here, but I like the John's a little bit. The pepperoni on the John's was great. It was a little overcooked, but I liked it myself. That's all I got.
You know, when I called Macy's, the guy said, "Do you want a half sheet in 20? Because there's a deal tonight." And I said, "Nope. My man Dennis needs those triangles.
The triangles
Give me
are important.
the round large."
Well, I'm glad. I can sleep tonight now.
All right. Herb.
Yeah, so
You fucked me on the cameo.
did I?
You showed up too late. We couldn't record the cameo. We'll have to do it after.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it after.
All right.
I need to get a little lubed up here.
Oh, my God.
I was not made aware this was going to be part of the discussion.
Wait till after dark.
I'm gonna look at a lot of dicks. That's the store. Wow, that's taken out of context. Yeah, I'll be blowing everybody. All right.
Okay. All right. I had to fit it in somewhere. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, don't judge a book by its cover. Okay. So I looked at John's. It was like looking at, you go to the local bar and you see a gorgeous lady, and then you see maybe a 3 or a 4, and it's a tough decision, but you got to get in there under the hood, and then you make a better decision. So after tasting both pizzas, I liked Macy's better. They had bigger wings, and size does matter. They had better flavor, and I'm not usually a sweet sauce guy, but the flavor was it popped. So, yeah, no, John's was good. It performed well when you got in there a little bit, but Macy's just really got after it. Better wings, better size, better everything. Better overall flavors.
Del meet Herb.
Quadruple entendres.
All right. So I have to echo. I'm not going to echo what Herb said, but some of the points that Herb made, I agree with. When you pop the top on the boxes, John's looked great. Great cup and char. We like that extra little cook on there, like kind of like the Picasso's feel, where it's like it's almost close to being burnt, but just perfectly cooked on the pepperonis. You looked at the Macy's pizza; it looked like a pizza put together by somebody who was smoking weed, probably in the back. The pepperoni was everywhere, not evenly distributed. Yeah, real sloppy. And so my piece had maybe like 3 pepperonis on it. Then I saw Mike's had like 20, I think.
I took them off yours and put them on mine.
Yeah. So I was not expecting much out of Macy's when we bit into it. But actually, as a sweet sauce guy, it was actually really good. I liked the Macy's a lot. I thought the cooks were fairly similar, just looking at the crust and stuff like that. The John's, I never really thought much of their pizza. I think mostly about subs when I go there. And the pizza was better than I thought it would be, but I still, if I had to pick one, I'll probably go with Macy's. The sweet sauce won me over. And both good tasting pizzas, but for me, it was Macy's on this one.
All right. Did you comment on the wings?
I did not.
Okay.
I thought the wings were pretty similar in size. I thought Macy's were much more sauced than the John's were. So, you know, I had a couple wings from John's, just a little bit of sauce, kind of dry. The Macy's ones had tons of sauce, much more flavorful. So Macy's on the wings as well.
Okay.
But I will say that I don't know what John's uses for their blue cheese, but they're in, you know, like a plastic takeout cup. So I don't know if they make their own. They probably don't, if I had to guess. But the Macy's one, they use Ken's Buffalo blue cheese, which is good, but they're definitely different blue cheeses.
I mean, we do appreciate the extra effort when they make their own blue cheese.
I know. Put it in a cup and, you know, at least I'll think you made it or something.
Yeah. All right, Del. Is this your first official pizza review on a podcast in Tonawanda?
Because we're number one, you know.
Yes.
Actually, no. I'm waiting for him to say no.
Yeah.
This is Buffalo. It's really hard to do pizza poorly.
Oh, we've had a few.
Well, there's a few, right? But how many pizzas have you had? So
52.
There it is. All right. So got to answer. Yeah, I like them both. I lean towards Macy's on the pizza if I have to choose, if we're doing like keeping score. They're both great. Having worked at John's 100 years ago, well, close to it, like almost 30, they keep a really clean kitchen, so I would always recommend them. Like, they're really intense about how, you know, their procedure, so you're always going to get the exact same pizza. You're always going to get, you know, from a great setup. That said, that's not a dig against Macy's. I've never worked at Macy's, so I don't know. But that's always a plus that I'll give to John's. The wings were both, like as you mentioned, very similar, and they're good.
Okay. Mike, did you finish both slices?
I did.
Okay, that's good.
So I'll keep it short and sweet. I liked both of them. I picked Macy's. I had a little different wing experience than Brendan did, though. I think it must have been where we got them from the package, because mine from Macy's were dry, and from John's were covered in sauce. But I like the Macy's better. So I got to give it both to Macy's.
Wow, Macy's. Slugging it out tonight.
There's a little nostalgia involved with Macy's. That was a place that my wife and I would go to all the time when she owned a double out in Cheektowaga. So that's the first time I've had that location's pizza in however many years, 20-some years.
Wow. And
it tasted almost exactly like it used to. So sweet sauce, all that stuff. I'm actually going to go with John's on this, though. I thought the appearance was different, better for John's, my opinion, rather. And the crust kind of at the end is what sold it for me. My Macy's piece kind of ended about 4 inches short of the end of the crust, and there was a lot of crust, and so that kind of turned me off a little bit. So it was super close, both good pies. I would go with John's. Wings were identical. I think if you placed them on a plate, you would think they came from the same place. It's too hard for me to find something different, to be honest with you, with those wings.
If you selected a different slice from Macy's, would it have made a difference?
I mean, it's possible, but I just the crust, I was looking at it, just, you know, I guess I like John's crust better. It was thinner and cooked better, so but they were super close. It wasn't, you know, much of a difference.
All right. Sean?
I'm going to make it interesting. I'm going to go with John's, and I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Didn't see any difference in terms of the wings. I look at Macy's, again, great pizzas all the way around. Sauce, I can be seduced by a sweet sauce, and certainly Macy's sauce was really good. Just a tad of sweetness to it. But in the end, I gave John's the cheese, oregano, and crust, with Macy's grabbing the pepperoni and the sauce. So John's, and it's 4-3, Kyle, to you.
So you can be swayed with oregano on a slice.
I can. It's that can top it off.
Oregano.
Next time because my uncle, when he gets Geno's, always gets Geno's without oregano.
Without or with?
Without.
Okay.
Without, because Geno's defaults to
It
it. I'm
adds that
wondering
little
if that's something I should be like, no oregano on
Absolutely
these,
not.
just to keep them
You
head
need
to
keep
head.
oregano going.
Okay, fine.
Back the oregano.
Okay.
But also, you want to just get the pizza as it is.
Well, yeah,
That's
yes.
what we always
yes,
say.
yes.
We're overthinking this one.
Oh, speaking of that, how it is, an argument started in the Zabills chat on Facebook about pizza oven and
Was that my wife? Did
no,
she
no,
start
no,
the
no,
argument?
no, it involved my sister.
Oh.
My sister was arguing with a guy who loves or is a professional instigator on Facebook, and he was born and raised Lockport guy, recently moved to Tennessee. He was telling my sister that the perfect pie from Pizza Oven is like a 3/4 bake.
I have heard that before.
And I'm like, yeah, but, sorry I didn't know about it. But, like, that's the thing we were talking about. Like, you shouldn't have to have the secret code to the better way of ordering it.
Right. It's like
just make it that way.
When we got bocce's and we're like, people are like, I get, light bake, double pepperoni or whatever. And it's like, well, when we order a cheese and pepperoni pizza, you just got to give it to us the way you do it.
Yep. So I hadn't had John's since, I want to say, that weekend you helped me move in, Sean. I think I had it that long ago.
17 years.
Yep, 17 years ago. It slapped. It was pretty good. I was blown away. Shout out to you, Colin. Professor Pizza. Macy's did not let me down. Great sauce. My slice was sloppy. I like a sloppy slice. Pepperonis were definitely cooked better on John's. John's, as somebody mentioned earlier, as soon as you open that box, you're like, oh shit, they overcooked it. But the belly of the slice was still real nice and tender. Macy's also cooked similarly, but not as much cook on the top or broil or whatever you want to call it. So it didn't have any cup and char, but the pepperoni still tasted delicious. Wings for both, very similar. Edge out by Macy. I think they had a little additional flavor than the John's. My vote's gonna. You can't go wrong with either pizza. If I was going based on how close they were, obviously I'd go to John's and drive out to Cheektowaga. Price was, how much was it, Sean, for John's?
41 with the coupon.
41 with the coupon. All right, Rob, coupon time. And Brendan, how much was it?
44.
44. Okay. So
No big difference in terms of the price.
No, not really. That being said, I would probably still pick Macy's. I love that sweet sauce is what really I do like it. Herb, did you have money on this? DraftKings?
Yeah, Macy minus 170.
Okay. All right. That's it for the pizza. Del, you survived it.
Guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Pizza time. Oh my God, pizza time. Football. Mike, start it.
Well, before I start and run any questions by you, two unfootball related things. Number one, I want you to know that in honor of you, I wore my cargo shorts. See?
Thank you. Nobody can see it.
Yeah.
Gesture. Thank you very much.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but cargo shorts they're not cool. Everyone calls them purse pants.
I like them.
I call them purse pants. I'm proud of it.
I've never heard of purse pants.
Only thing I wear in the summer.
Same.
Yeah, I like
the
them.
only thing I wear.
And I
convenient.
told my wife, I said, Dell's coming on. I'm wearing my purse pants. So,
Oh, man, thank you. Means a lot.
so before we get into football, though, the one night my wife and I are watching TV, and I look up and there's your face on a commercial for Bank on Buffalo. So tell us how that happened.
They asked me, "Do you want to be on a commercial?" I was like, "Okay."
It was that complicated.
My buddy Josiah works for Bank on Buffalo, and he's kind of like introduced me to a lot of the players over there and everything. And they're one of our sponsors at 26 Shirts, and then they approached me like last winter or spring and said, "Would you ever want to do a commercial with us?" And I'm like, would you ever want to do a commercial with me? And it was a really cool experience. It was people say, "Oh, you did a really great job," and I'm like, "Thank you." It's amazing what 8 hours can.
That was
come
my
up with.
next question. Yeah, because I've heard those stories. Where they like a friend of mine was on one of the Bills commercials, the fan commercials, and he sat there for 8 hours, and they used him for like a split second in the commercial. Just showed him in his bus. That was it.
Yep. It's basically I've learned when you're making. We did a short film with Brandon Moran from Buffalo Above Films, so I've learned through that process and through the commercial, they just shoot everything, and that way they want to have as much material as possible, and then they whittle it all down to, a few seconds or a few hours or whatever it is they're putting together. But it's it was fun. It was different. It's really difficult to drive and not hit pedestrians and talk about banking hours all at the same time in a very specific flow, and that's one thing that I learned. It's very difficult to do that.
Well, I'm in insurance, and I'll tell you that it's very difficult for some people just to drive and not hit pedestrians. So there's that. So I thought what maybe we could do, and you guys can chime in with any questions you have though too, is maybe go in like a sequence, because you just came back from the Super Bowl, you're out in Vegas, but you had a few things happen. You were the honors and all that kind of stuff. So the first thing I wanted to ask you was, through the course of that whole weekend, you obviously saw a ton of athletes, ton of movie stars, TV stars, I'm sure. What was your wow moment? Like, when were you starstruck when you saw this person? Who was it?
Great question, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know if starstruck is the right word, but the coolest moment was meeting Kyle Brandt, to be honest with you.
I saw the picture.
Yeah. It was really cool. Just he's that same energy that you see on television out in the real world, and just totally gets it. And we only had a minute or two to talk because we're both doing different things before the honors, and just a little nuance. Like, we're talking, and he goes, "Hey, get in here, let's get a picture," because he must have seen my wife had the phone in her hand. Like, just little things like that. He's like, he knows that corny stuff like that means something to it.
Was he excited to see you? He's always really energetic, a lot of jazz. I still once in a while will watch him drafting when called out for the Buffalo Bills. Did he see you and be like, I gotta see this guy?
Well, he wasn't quite that level of excited. Okay. But I walked up to him and I was like, "Mafia, mount up," and he goes, "Dell," which was really cool. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. It's not just a Twitter thing. He knows my name," but just a real nice, genuine guy. And he said, "It's so cool to see you. I didn't realize you were the Bills fan of the year." And it was a nice little exchange. And we've had a couple interactions, like I said, on Twitter, and he's called me out a couple times on Good Morning Football, just to you should do a shirt like this. So we automatically have to do a shirt like that. He's like, "Del Reed, 26 shirts, make this shirt." I'm like, "Oh, I guess we're making the shirt." But no, he's just a really cool, genuine guy. So in terms of, I don't know, starstruckness, I don't know, but that was a cool moment. Also, I was wearing under my jersey a shirt that had a Buffalo knocking out a Dolphin, and it said "Reigning Champs." And so when I saw Tyreek Hill walking on the red carpet, I "Yo, Tyreek," and I pulled up my jersey. And he saw it. He didn't acknowledge he saw it, but he saw it. He knows.
I saw that picture and I sent it to these guys. Yeah.
I was very proud of myself that moment.
But. That made me think of something when you were explaining how you saw him, Kyle, when you saw him and how he was. Before you and I really kind of got to know each other, I don't know if you remember the first time we ever met in person. But
the Bison's game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This guy, I'd only interacted with him on Twitter. He has no idea who I am. I walk in and he saw me and knew who I was immediately and said, "Mike, big because I was Big Mike,
Big Mike, no more."
Yeah, and I'm like, "Yes!" And I went over, said hi to him, took a picture. So you do the same thing, man. And I will tell you one thing: I was starstruck.
you got to raise that bar, my friend. But thank you. No, it's that stuff's important because to Kyle that means whatever, it's 10 seconds of his time, but it made me feel seen.
Yep.
No, that's cool.
Well, I felt seen that day too, so I appreciate it.
I see you.
So to the honors, does anybody have any specific questions on the honors? If not, I've got a couple, but I don't want to take up all the time.
You might have addressed this the last time we had you over the phone, but how did you find out you were the Bills fan of the year?
The Bills actually surprised me. They had me. They reached out and they said, "Hey, we're doing a piece on the origins of Bills Mafia. We want you to come down and do a video about it or whatever, do an interview." And that wasn't completely outside the realm of what they've had me do in the past. So I was like, "Yeah, no problem." so they have me walking down the tunnel, like telling the Bills Mafia story like they showed in that video. And then all of a sudden, like, Stevie's there. And he's like, Dell, you're open. I'm like 10 different things are going on in my brain at that moment. That's why I dropped the pass. That's the only reason why. But no. But then he goes, you're open. And he throws the pass. And even in that moment, I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm the Bills fan of the year. I was like, oh, well, Stevie Johnson, he's part of the Bills Mafia origin story. And then he walks up and he lifts up his jersey in classic Stevie fashion. It was like so appropriate, like why so serious and everything. And it was really cool. So then I called my wife immediately. They had me call her or FaceTime her or whatever it was. And she was the one that actually led the charge, not to steal that from the Bills, but like really like led the charge in terms of making this happen. Once she found out back in like August that was a thing, she was on this mission to like get me to be Bills fan of the year. And I was like, don't do that. Come on, don't. And she's like, no, it's happening. If you've ever met my wife, you don't tell her no. Something's happening. It's happening. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to share it. You want to do whatever work behind. I'll help you behind the scenes, but I'm not sharing it. It just seems really just a weird look. But then she got me to share it, and but it was really cool just seeing different people like reach out and promote it, and former players and different people in the media. It was cool. It was very humbling. It was sweet.
I was going to ask you at the awards, did you spend time with the other NFL fans of the year? Are there ones that you met that you were super cool? Ones you were like, yeah, this is just like their team? Like, I mean, were you guys together, all 32 of you, or how'd that work?
We were, especially in the honors. In the Super Bowl, we were kind of like sparsely in the same section or two sections, so we weren't all in one block. But during those 3 or 4 days, we spent a lot of time with each other. And it's funny, like the team rivalries mean nothing when you're just talking to we're all like starstruck at the moment that we're in. Like, holy cow, we're all at the Super Bowl. So I really got to know Tom Grossi, the Green Bay fan of the year, NFL fan of the year. I got to know him last summer because we did a project together. So that was it was nice having a little bit of at least one person when you're going there. But then just got to know the Texans fan and the Titans fan and just all these different fans of the year, and they're all really cool. So now there's like a secret Facebook group that I'm in now that's all the fans of the year and everything. And there's a group chat that goes on and on. And so it's really cool. It's one of those things where you're only together for a few days, but you feel like you're going to have a connection for life now.
What about the Patriots fan of the year? What about that person?
Everybody talked about how much they hated how cool and nice the Patriots fan was. He's like probably in his mid to late 70s, just a really nice, really nice dude. And I even told him, like, everybody's like talking behind your back, like how they hate how nice you are. And he was laughing about it. But yeah, he was really cool.
Of all the fan of the years that you met, the 32, how many of them had been to a Super Bowl prior?
I don't think any of them had.
Okay, that's cool then. All their first timers.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think anybody had been to a Super Bowl before. If they were, they certainly weren't flaunting it.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Were you pleased with the setup Vegas had for this? Vegas seemed to be born for this moment of hosting a Super Bowl.
I don't know why every Super Bowl isn't in Las Vegas. I mean, I know why, but it just seems such a natural destination for a Super Bowl. Like there's naturally parties every night in Vegas, and the Super Bowl always has parties every night in the days leading up to it.
Cost us a few.
What's that?
The parties?
Definitely the first.
Cost our team a few, maybe.
Oh, those parties. Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe.
Sorry.
But it was really cool. Vegas was ready for the Super Bowl. Like, we got off the plane, and there was volunteers on the Las Vegas Super Bowl committee, like all over the airport, and they have like they're all cheering and yelling like, yeah, Super Bowl, and they have all these different places set up where you can get your picture taken, and they're like, oh, leave your luggage here, it's safe right here. Well, come on, we'll take your picture. It was like really cool.
Right.
They were ready for the Super Bowl.
Missing just the Buffalo Bills piece, everything else was like the trifecta. It was the great weather. It was Vegas, which by itself sells itself. I mean, the atmosphere. It was great that you were there, but it was even better. It was in Vegas compared to being like, I don't want to put down Minnesota or something like that, but you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
It was a home run in terms of if you had to go to a Super Bowl, where the Bills weren't playing, you can't go
That's the one to go
Vegas.
to, right?
Yep. That just a great experience. Had to be overall.
It was so awesome, and it was my wife and me, and we got to spend 4 or 5 days just solid together. So that was in itself just fantastic. I'm always looking for the silver lining. So there was a part of me was like, well, maybe it's good that the Bills aren't in it because now I'm not stressing out about the game. I really wish they were in it though. Like every time anybody saw me wearing anything Bills, they'd always point and say, should have been you guys. And by like the 3rd or 4th day, I'm like, yeah, I know. It should have been us. I know. But on that same token, every time I saw a Lions fan, I said, oh, it was supposed to be us. It was supposed to be us, But I guess it wasn't. It's supposed to be us to script it and call for it. But,
So what jerseys did you bring with you to wear?
the only jersey I brought with me was my Fan of the Year jersey.
Okay.
I brought tons of other,
26 shirts,
a couple of 26 shirts.
Okay.
My daughters for Christmas they bought me this really cool Bills Hawaiian shirt, so I wore that one day. So I had every day planned out though. Like, okay, I'm wearing this day. I'm wearing this day. Like I had everything. I brought 3 different pairs of sneakers. It was just I wanted to. I don't know. I just wanted to enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
You couldn't get the sense on TV, and both teams wear red. Being at the actual Super Bowl, what was the balance of the crowd like? Was it Chiefs? Was it Niners? Was it just, hey, we have football fans from around America? I couldn't get a sense of where the total 64,000 people, where their allegiance were to.
That's a great question. So I've always heard my whole life, it's a corporate crowd. Everybody sits on their hands. You're not going to hear. There was a lot of 49ers fans there. There was a lot. I mean, to the point where when the Chiefs came out during introductions, they got booed, like audibly booed. We're up in like the 400s. You could hear the whole stadium booing, what it felt like the whole stadium. There were still obviously a lot of Chiefs fans there. And in fact, I think it was the morning of, or maybe it was the day before, I don't remember. I was wearing Bill stuff, probably my jersey. And we get into we were in the Luxor. We were staying in Luxor. We get in the elevator. And there's a husband and wife, and she's like head to toe in Chiefs.
Oh, no.
And I'm wearing my Bill stuff. And I look at her, she's like, not a word. I said, she started laughing. I'm like, not a word. You learn to, you make jokes with it. And I saw 49ers fans after the game, and I was like, you get used to it after a while. You'll see. You get used to these Super Bowl losses. But just trying to build a little camaraderie there. But, yeah, it was a lot more 49ers fans to the point where if I only had that one game as a point of reference, I would never think that it was all corporate, mumbo jumbo people there.
Was this your first time to Vegas?
No, it was my 3rd.
Okay. Yeah. I've never been, so that's why I was just curious.
Yeah. No, I was there back in 2005, and then ironically, I was there just last January, so 13 months ago, and I stayed at the same hotel, the Luxor. So that was kind of cool to revisit that a little bit.
How was the stadium? Like the Allegiant, it's a newer stadium, a couple years old.
It is beautiful. It is. So it's funny. The last time I was there, it was for a trade show, and the one night they had like a mixer with all the different people at the trade show, and it was actually at the stadium. We got to go down on the field, and they had like a little party down there and everything. And I remember walking through that, and they have Raider stuff everywhere. And I remember thinking, like, there's no history in this stadium. Like, I get it. Okay, that's Fred Biletnikoff, that's Kenny Stabler. Have they even ever stepped foot in this stadium? So there's all this Raider tradition and all that. Mm-hmm. But then you come back a year later, and you're there for a football game. It is an amazing stadium. It's a great venue. Like I said, we were in the 400s, and everybody, like I've told that to, they go,
literally 400s.
Yeah, but everybody says, like, really, you're up. The sight lines were fantastic. I don't mind being higher up anyway because I'm watching the game. If I can watch it at home and get like a limited view, I like seeing the whole play develop. I like seeing, like Madden. You can just see everything happening at once. So it was great sight lines. I mean, it was clean. I mean, obviously it's only a few years old, but it was a great stadium.
I mean, being up so high, do you still feel like you're pretty close to the field and you can actually see it pretty well?
Yeah. I had
like better than the 300s at our stadium.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't sat in the 300s in a while. I've been at 200. I haven't sat there in a while.
There he is, folks. There he is.
No, it's just so bad.
No.
I've seen plenty of games up there, but
I want to watch a game up there.
I feel like there's some kind of hidden.
That's why we said
some
Herb.
underlying.
No.
Must be fucking nice.
No, I mean, you could see the whole play develop. I knew what player was what player and everything.
Yeah.
If somebody was wide open catching passes, I knew that was Travis Kelce.
Yeah. How close did you get to Taylor?
She was on the other side. I could.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell.
All right.
So in the same building, that's about it. Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah, same building. Yeah. But second time now.
Yeah.
Buffalo and then.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what Mike asked you before about your starstruck, about who you've seen. Can you rattle off a couple celebs that you saw in passing that maybe didn't say hi to but saw from afar?
Well, I did say hi to Harrison Phillips, Deion Dawkins. I mentioned Tyreek Hill. I saw Barry Sanders, Mike Tomlin. Trying to think of who else. Kevin from This Is Us. I saw him, the actor.
Kevin. Oh, he's in that new show Tracker.
Yeah.
What's his name? I forgot his name. Okay.
Yeah, they said it, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I saw him.
Oh, that's because his show was debuting after the Super Bowl, right?
That's probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't see him that close, but he was over. I saw Cynthia Freeland from NFL Network. I mentioned Kyle Brandt. I saw Ian Rappaport. I was looking all over for Adam Schefter, like all over, because that's part of the Bills Mafia origin story. And I was like, I gotta come full circle and like get a picture. I could not find him. I'm going to the draft, so I'm gonna track him down at the draft. It's gonna happen.
So what's his tie?
So Bills Mafia, that was an inside joke that I said. I wasn't trying to create anything like a movement among fans or name the fan base or anything. It was really just a joke I made with some other Bills fans when I called us that when he blocked all of us because we were teasing him about a day-old retweet because Bills fans are sensitive and we were offended by that. So that's a really short story.
Okay.
I've since become unblocked, which is great, but I still I got to get that picture with him.
Have you met Chris Berman?
Yes.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I met him a few years ago. He was in town for some function, and we did a shirt that was about circling the wagons. I got a picture of him holding it up and everything. That was kind of cool.
He seems like a really cool, genuine guy.
He was a lot taller than I expected when I met him.
Yeah,
Wow, you're a big dude.
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did like that the origin story started with the time Stevie blamed God after he dropped that Steelers touchdown. And I remember that you got to respect that because they always thank God when things go well, so you should also be able to blame God when things don't go as well. So that's reasonable.
He was he's actually like our destinies are kind of like forever tied now with Bills Mafia and everything, and he's become a friend to be honest with you. And I did get to see him that week as well too. But yeah, he's a great guy. And it was funny like when he threw me that pass and I totally whiffed on the catch. I think I tweeted, I made a joke about it, and then he replied and said, "Hey, it's full circle, baby." So
nice. I will say that I'm sure we'll get into it later, but the YouTube clip on 26shirts.com, it's like I think it's 26 minutes if I'm not correct, which is kind of funny. It's great. It may be a little choked up. It was really, really good.
yeah, thank you. That was all Brandon. He approached me right around probably this time last year, and with this idea of like I'm looking to make a short film. I want to do it about something that's going on in Buffalo. I'm not looking for you to pay me to do it. I really I want to create something. And he said, I think 26 Shirts would be a great muse for that. And he did an amazing job. Like he had me choked up, and we did a party back in I think November for our 10th anniversary and everything, and we premiered the short film, and people were all in the restaurant like just crying and tearing up. He did a beautiful job with it.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm glad my wife went to bed early that day.
So, what'd you think of the halftime show? Are you Usher guy or not?
No, it's not really my bag. But it was cool. They gave us all these lanyards, and they all lit up. You probably saw it on television. Like all the.
Hey, Dal, we have a caller on line 2.
Tell your caller to hold off. I'm talking about Usher, yo.
Well, hold on a second.
Is it who I think it is?
Hello, you're on the line. This is Za Bills. You're live with Del Reed.
Hi, my name's Mia. I'm Mike Sirianni's daughter.
What's going on?
I used to do some theater with Dell's kids at Stage.
Yeah, I remember.
KenCon. Yeah, I was in the last show I was in there was Mamma Mia with Delaney. So I was just wondering, is 26 Shirts something that you see yourself handing down to your kids? Do you consider it like a family business? Like, what is it? What do you see happening with it in the future?
Are you looking to buy it?
I'm finishing my degree at Duquesne University, so not for a really, really, really long time.
Duquesne, yeah, we actually have a cousin that went there. I'm not sure. Right now, my daughters, what they're thinking they want to do with the rest of their lives don't really involve e-com retail, but we'll see what happens. But I still feel like I'm so close to the beginning of that journey that I'm not even ready to think about that. And one daughter's in high school, and the other one is finishing up at Buff State with her hospitality degree. So
go Bengals.
Yeah, but it's funny. Okay, so Mia, it's funny. So the whole time when I was telling my wife about the podcast, I'm like, it's Mia's dad's podcast. That's how I refer to it.
I miss her so much. Please tell her I said hello.
I will. I absolutely will.
My daughter is a diehard Bills fan, living in Steeler country.
Yeah, Duquesne. That's right.
Yes.
That's right there.
You can see the stadium from her house.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get bullied every day, but it's worth it to be in the Mafia.
Well, you probably had some good bragging rights last month. So
absolutely. Nobody didn't hear from me about that. That's
good for you.
sure.
Good for you. You're doing it right. Good job, Mike. Good job raising.
See that? I did something right. All right, kiddo. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
All right, have a good one.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. I told her you were going to be on. She's like, "Oh, I'm calling."
Oh, perfect. That's great. Yeah, that's true though. It's how I've been referring to this. Mia's dad. Mia's dad's podcast.
It's his podcast. But
No. You say that. It's our podcast.
As far as my wife is concerned, it's all you.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So during the summer, do you have your kids intern over there at 26 Shirts?
Well, actually, my daughter was there today helping.
Oh.
So whenever we need help and whenever they need hours or money, so it's a beautiful relationship we have there. So, when we're short on people to fold shirts and ship shirts and whatever, they're there.
Okay. So what else did they have you guys involved with as the fans of the year, other than just the awards? Was there more stuff you guys did? Activities?
There was different things we could do during that time. Like we got free tickets to the Super Bowl experience, which is kind of like half Hall of Fame exhibits, half interactive. Like if you've ever been in the field house before a Bills game, they have all those things for kids. Like that times 100. So that was really cool. We did that on Friday after Stevie Johnson was in town doing like a creators summit, like some different entrepreneurs that were starting different businesses around mainly like NFTs and that's not true. There was clothing and energy drinks and there was a lot going on there. But we did that earlier in the day, and then we went to the experience, and then on Saturday we went to the Sports Illustrated The Party, is what they call it, at a club. And I've never felt 48 more in my life than being at this, it starts at 10. I'm like, it starts at 10. My day ends at 9. So we went there, and we had a lot of fun. We got there real early, which means nobody was there, because I guess that's not how you club. But all the fans of the year went there, and we had a fun time. And then people just started showing up, and the bass was getting louder, and we pretty much all left right around midnight or so. But it was, like I said, at 48, like hanging out with Night at the Roxbury and Instagram models or wannabe Instagram models or whatever. It was like, let's go home. So,
yeah.
What was the tailgates? Sorry.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
What was the tailgate situation? Was there any tailgate situation?
Not that I saw. We were at the Luxor, which is right by the stadium. They actually just had us walk on Super Bowl Sunday. We just walked from the hotel to the stadium. And the security for the stadium for the Super Bowl is so far out away. You know how the Bills game, you walk through the gate and there's security, and then you're like at your seats in like 2 minutes. You were so far out, and then you went through it. It felt like you kept going through security. So there wasn't really much of a tailgate atmosphere. It's funny, I didn't even think about it until like the next week. I'm like, there was like no tailgate, but it's Vegas too. Like, you want a party, there's a party next door wherever you are.
What about like the in-game experience for you? I mean, I don't, without getting too personal about what they provided you with as a fan of the year. I mean, were beers like $50? Like, were you responsible for that, or did they feed you, or what did that all look like?
Yeah, they didn't like give us food and beer or anything like that at the game, but I was super interested to see what it was going to be like. because you go to a Bills game and what do you pay, like $16 for a beer or something? It was $16 for a beer at the Super Bowl. Like I honestly thought it was going to be like $50 for a beer and $5 to go to the bathroom or whatever, But it was all like once you got in the stadium, the concessions were all like you would expect normally at a Bills game. There might have been some booths that I missed, but like walking through, like it didn't set us back to get like a thing of chicken fingers and some drinks or whatever. In terms of the in-game presentation, it was like as over the top as you can get without being obnoxious. Like everything was just like, you're at the Super Bowl. Even the announcer, like he comes over the loudspeaker. I'm like, that's a freaking Super Bowl announcer, just like everything. And I was curious to see, because I've never been to a football game, a professional football game where the Bills weren't involved. So I was really interested to see what, especially like a neutral site game would be. So basically they hype up everything. One play is like tackle for loss, 3 yards. And the next one's touchdown. Like everything was awesome. Like everything is great. So that was really cool. Like we were saying a moment ago, like the halftime show wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, I wasn't really dialed into it to begin with. I was really I think I was just on Twitter for most of it anyway. But it didn't seem like it was that great, the audio for the halftime show. I know people had complaints, but I wasn't going to go back and watch and see what it looked like on television. But just it was really cool. And they actually, before the game, they had us all go down on the field, and they kind of celebrated all the fans of the year and everything, which was really cool being on the field at the Super Bowl. I even pulled up some of the turf and I put it in my pocket, and then I forgot about it and I probably lost it in the wash. I was like, this is gonna be so special. But I got, it's funny. They had us all come out and they put us up on the Jumbotron and everything. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is great. I'm telling my parents I'm about to go on, turn on the TV. And then I realized they didn't show any of it on TV. They showed the fans of the year at one point, and you can see some of them lined up while everybody in the studio or CBS or whoever it was, not in the studio, but on the field, like Bill Cowher and everybody, they're all just talking about the game. And, you see some of them in the background, and then I'm behind Bill Cowher's head, but it was awesome. And
they did show a few of them on the telecast.
Did they?
I forget it was that right after a commercial break. I feel like they showed 5 of them lined up in the end zone. I want to say.
Yeah, and everybody else I think was behind the hosts and everything. But no, it was so cool though. Even going down into the the bowels of Allegiant Stadium to go out onto the field and everything was just a really cool experience. And it is such a production too. It's crazy because even now more so the fact that it wasn't televised, they were so particular about okay, everybody line up here. You're going to go out this time. You're there's like a director of a show. And
got to hit your mark.
Yeah. And they said, when you're on the field, don't take out your phones, keep your back to the field, look out at the crowd. And I'm like, okay, I want to be a good little soldier. I'm like, all right, my phone's in my pocket. We get out there. Every fan is taking pictures and I'm like, well, if they're going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I got some cool wraparound videos of the whole situation and pictures and stuff. And I guess I missed out because a bunch of them were talking to Rap Sheet, and I met him the other night, but and other ones, and I was so afraid to cross over and talk to any of the media folks. I didn't want to get tackled, but no, it was really cool.
Did you, when you got home, did you record the Super Bowl and watch it back?
I recorded all the pregame stuff. I don't care about the Super Bowl. I care about the Super Bowl, but if I was going to see it live, I don't have to see the Chiefs win another Super Bowl.
True.
Nope, totally
Yeah.
get it. I didn't know if you wanted to just see different angle or.
I kind of wish I had, to be honest with you.
Compared to what you saw and be like, oh shit, I didn't see that. Oh, I saw. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wish I had, because I probably would have watched it had I recorded it. But it's funny too. Even we're at the Super Bowl, once in a lifetime thing. As soon as Mahomes throws that touchdown, I'm like, we're leaving.
That was going to be my question to you. The follow-up was, did you have to stay for the Vince Lombardi?
Yeah, there was a part of me. Well, basically, our caretakers for all the fans of the year, they basically dropped us off, made sure we were on the field when we were supposed to be on the field, and then after that, they're like, okay, you're on your own. Get back home. It was right next door, But yeah, there's a part of me that thinks I should have probably waited to see a Super Bowl presentation in person. But then the other 98% is like, no, you do not need to see that.
Yeah, no chance.
No, I was like,
screw the Chiefs.
It was cool. As we were walking out, I saw on the Jumbotron, it said champions. And I think it had like the Lombardi trophy as the I in champions. I'm like, oh, cool. I got to see that. That's all I need to see, you know.
You could have took Stephon Diggs' place. Stand there watching the
my hands
confetti.
on my head or
Yeah.
whatever. No, I didn't need to. Like, I don't remember even seeing the confetti. Like, that's how like quick of a beeline. Like, I was ready to go after that.
All right, second part of my question. When you were down on the field, looking out everywhere, how massive did the place feel, or how like minuscule physically did you feel in this giant place on the field in that setting? Was it very overwhelming? You're like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was actually. I was in my mind, I was so in my head. I was trying to make sure that I was like getting some pictures, getting some video, but also absorbing the moment at the same time. Like, this is literally never going to happen again. You're on the field during the Super Bowl. One thing that was really cool, this isn't exactly what you asked, but I don't want to forget to share it. The 49ers were warming up like right where we lined up in the end zone. So like Christian McCaffrey actually like ran through the fans of the year as he was getting ready, like doing like whatever his warm-ups are. And then Deebo Samuel was right next to us, and Brandon Ayuk was right next to us. And I was standing right next to the 49ers fan, and he's bawling through the whole thing. He's because I would have probably too. Like if I was on the field at the Super Bowl and the Bills were about to play, I probably would have been in the exact same situation. But
I think we all would be.
Yeah, right. But in terms of the magnitude of it, I mean, it's a big stadium, right? And
bigger event though.
Yeah, and I'd never been in a dome either, so it actually feels bigger, if that makes sense. Because if you're on the field, I almost said the Ralph, whatever they call it now, Highmark, it's more open. You see the sky. But when you're enclosed in that dome, it's just a different vibe altogether. But it was really special. Is the best way I can sum it up.
Was a 49ers fan like knocking over the kicker stuff for or who was that? The Chiefs. They were kicking over
Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker
Tucker,
stuff.
yeah. I
it was
guess
like
what
the Chiefs
happened.
fan kicking over the 49ers stuff.
No, but it's funny. When I first saw that, I was like, oh, I hate the Chiefs. I still hate them, but like, I guess Tucker was antagonizing them by where he was. Like, he wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Reed Ferguson or somebody shared, like, yeah, he wasn't supposed to be where he was. But still, he made Kelsey look like a jerk, which is fine.
That guy's an asshole anyway.
It's easy to do.
The game itself, I mean, sometimes when you go to a Bills game and you're sitting there watching it, and there's halftime and commercials. Like, an NFL game has so many stoppages, it's hard to like get the flow, you know. And then now this is a Super Bowl with a 45-minute halftime show. Were you invested in the game, like the plays of the game? Did you find yourself like looking around at what people were wearing, like I was at an NBA basketball game, which I could have cared less about? Or, I mean, were you in it like an actual football game, and did it feel like it took forever?
It was taking forever, but I was okay with it because the Super Bowl. I'm at the Super Bowl. They're not like rushing through it. And yeah, I was dialed in. Like, I was cheering for the 49ers like they were the Bills. Like, whatever switch had to flip in my brain, like I'm literally in my little area of the section, like the last row. And I'm yelling and screaming as if I'm going to affect the play on the field. Like, I was all in, because for me, like, a loss for the Chiefs would have been a win for the Bills, you know? Yeah. But yeah, it was a football game. Like, we watched a football game. It was really cool too. You talk about the commercial breaks, and if I remember correctly, I remember just like in the stadium, this commercial break is brought to you by, and they were actually like, those breaks were actually brought to you by, you know, whatever sponsor or whatever in the stadium, which is kind of brilliant when you think about it. Like,
yeah, double dipping.
Yeah.
And
do they actually show the commercials?
No, I've only like heard about the Super Bowl commercials. I just haven't got around to going onto YouTube and like watching the actual Super Bowl commercials.
They weren't good.
And we're out of time. Thanks, Del. All right, folks, that's the end of part one. We're going to go to a part two. Del, I heard that you got something new popping up at 26 Shirts this week.
Yeah, on Thursday the 29th, we've teamed up with One Eyed Cat Brewing in Williamsville, and we have the Meowfia beer release that we're doing to support 10 Lives Club. So we'll have that launch party at 5:30, and if you like Hefeweizens, which I know you're not an IPA guy, maybe you would like one of those. So.
Folks, I am trying a a 1927 Brewhouse Buffalo Sauce Cayenne Pepper IPA. If you love IPAs and hot stuff, this is up your alley. It does have some bite to it. It looks like it would taste like Frank's, but I don't know if it has the Frank's in there like Josh Allen likes. But 7.1 alcohol by volume.
Yeah, so
delish.
Yeah.
How many cats are on your on this label for the Meowfia?
Just one.
Just one kitty.
Just one. Got a little.
Is it your
iPad.
kitty?
I don't have a cat.
Okay. Everybody needs a cat.
More power to the cat owners.
Okay.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Za Bills Podcast is a presentation of Kmart Productions, sponsored by MJB Electric and Dudza Chiropractic. Thank you for listening, and if you haven't, please follow, rate, review the show. It helps with the algorithm. Za Bills is executively produced by me, Kyle. Executive sound engineering by yours truly, also me. Fundraising, also by Kyle. All artwork executively produced by Avery and Mark Rochon. What the heck is this? All music and lighting executively produced by Kyle. That's more like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Good night.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.